Welcome back to another episode of the CQ podcast. I'm your host, M94.
And I am Fatman.
Today is going to be an interesting topic because it's a bit more personal, definitely not political. So,
It's gonna be real personal.
very personal. Okay, Fatman, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about something that I'm going through and I'm still going through. Uh, I'm gonna talk about porn addiction. I know it's kind of not spoken about. I
Not
am,
spoken about enough.
yeah. I haven't heard about anyone's personal experience on it. But rather, I saw a YouTube video about a person who talked about it. So this is gonna be my journey through my porn addiction. First, I want to just say that there are lots of people who think porn addiction is not a problem, but I think uh, it is a problem.
Porn
Like,
itself is a problem.
porn addiction is a
Porn
problem
addiction is a problem.
because
But do you think porn is a problem?
that's a conversation for later.
Okay.
But porn addiction is a problem. Yeah. Because anything that overstimulates your mind and produces dopamine, and when you're craving it to a point, when it changes your mind chemically.
Right.
So
Okay.
any sort of addictions that even so porn, they have said that porn changes your
Knowledge.
changes your mind chemically. So that's just I want to say that porn addiction is a problem. The second thing that I want to say, we might laugh or joke about it. Right, we already started joking about it. Uh, but but in no way it diminishes the seriousness of this topic because it is a serious problem. Because I can say because I have gone through it and I'm still going through it. Uh, anyway, this is not going to be a resource on how you can overcome porn addictions rather than it's just my personal take and what I feel about it and what's my journey. But so I'm gonna like talk about pretty explicitly what I'm gonna go through, what I went through, and I'm still going through.
Well, that's something we can actually look into, like resources on
Yeah, help and stuff like that. I found a few links about it. We'll put it on the description. If you're interested, yeah, you can actually check it out. Uh, so like I said, I'm still fighting this, and sometimes I fail, but I'm still continuing to fight this. So I'm gonna like touch on like how it started. So my first porn encounter was when I was 12 years old.
That's super early.
Yeah, I was grade 7. So it was me and my friend. I don't tell who this friend is. We went on a net cafe and it was pretty. We were like kids, so we didn't know. People. I think my parents are under the impressions that he took me, but it's actually I took him and went. So I initiated.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. Maybe of curiousness. Maybe this thing.
Did you hear about it somewhere? Why did you?
I can't say why I wanted to go this thing, but I didn't know what to search for.
Right.
I just searched for nude girls and I saw pictures of women taking off their clothes. That's basically what I saw. That's my first. But when it really started kicking in, like when I started watching porn, like people having sex, if you videos of it was in grade 9, so I was 13, 14. Which is pretty okay.
What is okay about
Yeah, I know it's never okay, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's wrong for at 14 like this name. Yeah, yeah, it's nothing okay about it. So after when I went to when I was like in grade 9, like 14, that's really when I like seriously got into like watching it and enjoying it and. So after grade 9, when it started to become regular, so it was like it was a continuous fight because I knew it was wrong. I never conscious thing because I professed myself as a Christian, but I knew it was wrong. So, but I
told you that it was wrong.
my faith told me it was wrong, and so I was continuing fighting with it. My friends helped me. My other, like my I have a leader who helped me, like a Bible study leader who helped me, stuff like that. But I was still continuing it, but I never acknowledged it as an addiction. I thought this is something that I struggle with for the rest of my life. It's not an addiction. It's like it doesn't affect me in a
Day to
negative
day
way.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like lying.
Yeah.
It's something that I do, right?
Did you feel like you were in control of things?
When I wa- but when I look back, no. But when I was going through it, I was thinking I was in control of things
Yeah.
because, yeah, yeah. But when I started realizing that this is an issue was actually like 10 years later, because today, not today, this year, this year. So the pandemic hit me really hard because my parents are not here. I'm just alone with my brother in this huge three-story house. It's kind of huge, yeah. Like we are like having like a really hard time maintaining it. Huge story house. It's and I just cut off all communications. Like my parents, like my mom, like I don't like I talk to her like twice or in 1 month or like stuff like that. And my mom was like seriously scared. What's wrong with her? Like, she actually called me one point. I picked up and she started crying. She didn't know that this wasn't a problem. So it was like really bad. So just me and my brother. So I just in my room, like in my room alone. This like this thing and I cut off all ties. I didn't have any communication with any friends. I just permanently put my phone on do not disturb. I gave an excuse saying I have work to do. I don't want disturb. I put it on do not disturb and stuff like that. And it was really crazy. When I look back at it, I don't know. It was. Uh, then I had to do my a professional level qualification. I didn't do that. I was like lying to my parents saying that no pandemic, it's not going to happen. Then my father apparently had it, like he said, because I'm still unemployed. At that time, I was still employed and still under the provisions of my parents because they put a roof over my head and I should listen to them. I mean, I'm still under the provisions of my parents. So my father gave me an ultimatum because since I was supposed to do his professional qualification, he gave me an ultimatum. Okay, you have 2 weeks. You do the exam. If you don't pass, you get out of the house. Basically, that's it
So now you understand it really affected you on day to day basis.
on a day-to-day basis. So then I went on Google and I typed symptoms of porn addiction. So basically, all this time when I was locked in, I was watching porn. It's just like I wake up, I watch porn. Not it's just not for like satisfaction. I don't get an orgasm or anything like that. I just want to watch porn. It's just I want to watch porn. I want to watch porn. I want to watch porn. I'm bored. I watch porn. I am hungry. I watch porn. I'm this thing. I have enough of watching anime. I want to watch porn. So it was really bad. Like I was like in the porn. Like I'll say what are the like how you will how slowly you'll decrease, how slowly you're desensitized to stuff. I'll explain that later. Uh, so this year, and I had to confess because I thought like my parents are gonna kick me out of my house. So I confessed. Then only I realized that I have an addiction problem. I realized that I have a problem with porn, and porn has fundamentally changed chemically in my mind, and it is an issue in my life. Uh, that's when I realized. Yeah, so like when I realized it, so I had so me. If I want to say something serious to to my parents, I don't talk to them. I write them something. So I wrote a letter to my parents. Like I wrote an email. Some people make fun of it, like especially our friends make fun of it.
I think it's pretty cool though. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Forms of communication, whatever
yeah.
works. Yeah.
So because I could be explicit as possible to my dad. So I was explicit as possible. I can keep it. Appa, I have a problem with porn and I'm addicted to porn. Yeah, but they showed grace on me and they gave me another month to prepare for my exams, and I got through my exams. And I'm still fighting, struggling with it. I don't think I won't say that I'm cured of it, but I'm still fighting it. Now I'm gonna say like just to my personal after effects of Watching porn, okay. One thing I realized is the more you watch it, the more you're desensitized to vanilla porn. So vanilla porn, when I say it's just two people having sex, right? Yeah. It's the like your first encounter when you type porn. That's what you kind of get, right? But the more desensitized you get, you won't get that much excited the next time that you want to watch. So
It's
when you
like
pass
almost like any drug.
yeah, yeah. It's like not even consumption like drug. I think you consume more. This is like you consume the same thing again and again, it won't give you the same
Right.
satisfaction or same I would say orgasm, that's what I'm saying, or release that your brain your brain getting flooded with dopamine and serotonin levels, that it won't be very satisfactory. Okay, so what you tend to do is you go to more hardcore stuff. Okay, I have so I'm going to be pretty explicit right now. You crave more extreme and kinky stuff. Okay, personally, I had female porn. I was into female porn. That was it's weird when I now think about it. It's like crazy. It's a man with a with a breast implant. Basically, that's what female porn is. No, it's not a girl with a.
Oh, okay.
It's a man with a. It's like it's weird, like how like feminine they look. It's crazy. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So and then the female porn, and then you. I don't want. I don't know whether I want to say it or not.
So far, it's okay.
Okay. Another thing is this thing I don't know. I had a thing because I read an okay. You know what's a doujin? Doujin is something. It's fan. It's manga, but it's very known this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a pissing fetish. Okay, and I was really turned on by it. It's like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay.
Continue.
So it was really weird, like the stuff that your mind, you go down to this thing. Kinky stuffs are like you like. I was never into BDSM because I thought BDSM was weird, but I was like very into weird kinky stuff. Okay, uh, and one of the personal effects that I think is like the more that you like literally objectify women. Okay, I found a subreddit list that okay, people who don't know what subreddit is, the basically a community of people that share stuff, and in subreddit nudity is allowed, consented nudity is allowed. So basically, I found a subreddit list of basically they break down the female body part. Like for an example, let's say, okay, your female genitalia. Okay, there is two types of stuff. One is an ini and outie. Okay, ini is how
We're
you're
talking anatomic now.
anatomically.
Yeah.
So they like so that's the and like and I found a list and I was like and so far and they have ass. Okay, then they have how big the breast is, like what color, ethnicity. They break it down by ethnicity. They like there's a forum of separate where you if you have a particular kink you can go ask and people will help you find it.
Literal breaking down of the
Yeah, so they actually objectify women like to a point, and it's like crazy. And women, it's pretty consent. It's like I think Reddit. I don't know the in and outs of Reddit, but from what I see, it's pretty consented stuff. I don't know. Okay. Uh, so it's like that's like yeah, you start to objectify women to a point of literally like thinking of them as objects. Like you're turned down by a particular aspect of a woman. You like maybe you like big boobs, a big breast. That means you can literally go find. You're turned on by elder women. You can literally go find by 30, find this thing. You are turned on by girls who look like teenagers who are 18 but obvious giant porn is illegal in this thing, so it's that stuff like that. So by sexual positions, like if you have particular positions that you like, you can find stuff for this. So like and that's what literally happens. So the more you crave, the more depraved that you become, and you create the most
outlandish.
outlandish, most weird. Now when I think about it, I'm actually disgusted by myself. Outlandish stuff that you crave, right? So that's like one of the three artifacts that I found that affected me, and I'm really disgusted by it. Damages, of course, and I want to talk about this, my after effects. So, what are the damages in my life? You view women as objects of for your pleasure only. You don't view them as fellow human being. Uh, what you see is actually not real sex. I think, like it's actors. Yeah, they are like. I think we had a conversation about this. Like in movies, you see superheroes, and that doesn't mean superheroes are real. The same thing. They might be screaming in pleasure and saying,
It's a
"Give it to me,
performance.
give it to me more," but it's just a performance, right? Uh, one of the reasons that like I don't have a active sex life, but the person who told me, uh, uh, continued addiction can harm actual sex life. You might not find pleasure in your own wife, okay, and trying to recreating those.
So what you're imagining in your head.
Imagine and trying to recreate what you saw in porn in your bed. You might actually end up raping your partner because rape is without consent. You are doing something. So basically,
Even if
sex
it's a
without
yeah,
consent
exactly. Even
is
if
rape.
you're married to that person.
So you can actually end up raping. This thing, and people talk about rape fantasies, but I don't know. I don't know, right? So overcoming and fighting it. So I talked a lot of stuff. Self-realization, I think that helped me a lot. I think when I actually come to like, okay, I have a problem with porn, uh, then only I realized, okay, then it's a step that I have to take. You need to like think if there are good resources outside that and there's a quiz, like if you say yes more than twice for the 10 questions that you have.
And those things.
Yeah, we add those links in it. That means you have a problem with porn. You have a porn addiction. So self-realization is the first step. Uh, Second, talk to a confidant. Like I talked with M94 about it.
So
We had
people need a no judgment space.
yeah, no judgment space, right? And better if you have a therapist, go talk to you about the therapist. I think I wanted to go to therapy, but it never worked out so far. But it's still in my mind that I still have to go to therapy. Uh, so I want to talk about the Christian aspect, Christian realization that I had. So when I told my parents that I have a problem with this and I was fighting with this, and that's why I've been cutting out communications with everyone. What I found was a response of grace, a response outpouring of love from them. I was never judged. I was never ridiculed, or I was never pushed aside. They still love me as their kid. They have self sacrificed a lot, and they will still sacrifice a lot for me. So what I from that what I realized is how my faith. So I'm a Christian. So how Jesus's grace is on my life. So I saw Jesus's grace through my parents, how they showed love to me, and that's like. On the next episode, we'll talk about our faith more, so y'all get an explanation of what.
It's a preview, sneak peek.
Yeah.
Spoilers for
The next episode. uh, yeah. So that's pretty much that I want to talk about. Guys, I know like lots of. I think most of the guys. I think women also struggle with porn right now. Because porn have best.
Is another pandemic, literally.
It's another pandemic because Pornhub has female-oriented porn also. So
It's another invisible, villain in this story.
yeah, yeah. So everyone struggles with it. I think most men struggle with it. I am putting this out there, very personal stuff out there. Hopefully, I what I spoke about helped y'all, and what sort of depravity, if y'all on the verges of just getting into porn or like dabbling in porn, I think be very careful. I think it's a downward spiral that will you start affecting your relationship with your friends. You can't look at your female friend and say, and you just start objectifying in your head. That's just like messed up. Yeah. So it's really, really dark. It's horrible. It's like that's the thing. Like I said, the more you're desensitized to it, the more extreme stuff that you go to, and those stuff, I don't think your partner would be comfortable enough to do it.
It's just not normal what you see.
It's just not normal what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all that I'm gonna speak about.
Yeah, there's a lot of personal stuff out there.
There, hopefully it was helpful for y'all.
Yeah, we're trying to create this space of like being non-judgmental because it's a problem and it's something that's not talked about enough, and it's obviously a taboo subject. Not enough education, not enough awareness, and these are topics that we're kind of interested because of the amount of tabooness that it holds, and like we don't talk about enough. And it's a lot of personal things as well. So it's hard for anyone to come out and say or talked about things.
Yeah, I watch female porn.
Yeah, that's not going to go down too well. But yeah, it's the level of controversial topics that we actually want to talk about and like try and get these out because we believe the message is important and it has to be out there, and we have to start talking about these things.
Yeah, when you normalize it, then you can then you can start fixing it. Yeah.
So even with addiction, I guess
normalization is not normalization in the sense make people aware of it. Yeah. Then you can start fixing it. No, it's never going to be normal. It's never going to.
Because with porn addiction, in any case of addiction, there has to be that acknowledgement of something's wrong that has to take place in order for you to start correcting yourself in ways. So yeah, that was pretty great stuff. Okay, much more cheerier note. I have something cool in line. Okay, why does this is more Christmas theme, I guess. So why is Santa Claus red? Simple question. Like, why is he wearing red? Like, how did red?
Because it's a merry color.
Merry color? Yeah. What are your general ideas when you see a Santa Claus? You describe him.
Red, white.
Yeah, this jolly fellow.
Jolly fellow.
Yeah.
White beard. Yeah. Beard, always fat.
Yeah, like this.
Likes cookies apparently. And
cookies. Yeah. Has elves, reindeer.
Yeah.
And then apparently
climbs down your chimney.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how that works in Sri Lanka because we don't
do chimneys. Yeah. And then
no, some houses do have chimneys.
Yeah, like coal. Yeah,
I think they
Central. Apparently lives in North Pole. Yeah, that's a whole lot of nonsense about the Santa Claus. Because the origins of Santa Claus is so much more nicer than some weird old man living in the North Pole. So Saint Nicholas was a really, really cool person. Please look him up. He was a fantastic human being. He literally worked for the poor. He lived in. He was a priest, literally, who lived in modern terms somewhere in Turkey, somewhere in the middle of Turkey. So a town called Myra. So he was the priest of that town, and he saw a lot of poverty, and that's what led him to try and donate food, try and donate essential items to people, and especially these children homes. That's what led him to see the poverty, see the conditions of these people, and try and help these people out. And that story of this really cool saint kind of spread throughout the region as he kind of became a bit of a folklore. Saint Nicholas, the helper of the poor. He also has the story of helping 3 children who were in the streets, kind of taking care of them. So that folklore from the Middle East, it kind of spread all over the world. From Middle East, it went to the Dutch. The Dutch took it over to the Americas. They brought in Dutch, Saint Nicholas sounds a bit like Santi Nicholas or something like that. So that's how Santa Claus came about. It kind of derived, the names kind of changed here and there, the story changes. So this folklore became of this generous, nice person giving gifts to children, became this uh, marketized, publicized version of Santa Claus. The whole red idea came about in a 19 something Coca-Cola ad. It's literally a Coca-Cola advertisement that turned Santa Claus into red because their brand color is red. Before that, he was projected as colorful person, very different, very ethnically diverse. I guess now he's just this white old man with a white beard with a red jacket, which is a little sad that a very global story became very
Commercialized.
yeah, it just became very sad. This truth of a generous man helping out the poor became, yeah, just capitalism took over there. So more interesting things, because even the Christmas tree has a really weird story behind it too. The evergreens, pagan festivals.
I don't know, like Christianity and
A
pagan.
lot of wrong stories going on about a lot of things. But yeah, we'll definitely have more Christmas stories for you. More cheery, happier.
Yeah,
Not too happy. That wasn't too happy, but yeah, still.
complete 180 from porn addiction
To
to this Christmas. Oh, but that's wow, man. I'm really impressed with ourselves. Like changing subjects.
Expanding our subject. Expanding. Okay. One more thing. Last one for this episode. You know the game Among Us.
Yes.
Everybody loves it. It's became, yeah, I think after they introduced the multiplayer online gaming into their into the portfolio of the game, it just took off. Everybody loves it. Everyone's into it. During election times in the America, USA, AOC.
Oh man, everyone loves AOC, man.
I absolutely love her.
She's so cool.
Such a celebrity crush.
Oh.
Oh my god, I had to check if she had a boyfriend. She does. She's not married. She doesn't have a boyfriend. If I ever end up in New York. But AOC, as part of her campaign, literally played Among Us with people to get the word out on
Vote Biden.
Exactly. Go and vote. Not necessarily vote Biden, but then just go and vote. So the idea of going and voting and exercising your rights.
This is like kind of old news, but we are gushing.
Yeah, I know. This is because I'm relating back to ideal politicians, because we had a political theme going on. Because AOC is just brilliant, and then you have Jacinda Ardern, New Zealand. She's just super cool. Prime Minister just literally owning it. She literally brought her baby to the parliament. Like, how cool can you get? Like, and the Obamas. They just were such great examples of how good politicians can be, and it just really looks good, and like the country looks good having really good leadership. So one of the links in our bio is, in this episode at least, the Sri Lankan politicians. So some of the politicians that were elected into power in these parliamentary elections literally threw chairs in the parliament.
You saw about how the Aussie man did the commentary on the parliamentary fight?
Sri Lankan fight, he did?
Yeah, dude. Yes, you should totally watch it.
And it was this. It's so amazing how people have forgotten all of this. Like some of the politicians, Johnson Fernando, threw chairs, threw the books of the speakers, threw chili powder at policemen. And they wreaked havoc during parliament proceedings.
This was quite
last year, right? Yeah, a couple of years back. Still recent enough to people not to forget all of this. Some of them have stolen the, Sengol. Just hilarious how people have just forgotten all of this history of people and still keep voting for them and expecting new things to happen. So, cheerier note, finishing this episode off. AOC is still not married. Yay. What?
no M94. I'm gonna cut that.
Yeah. But yeah, play Among Us. It's a pretty cool game. And let us know what you thought about this episode because it was
A roller coaster.
yeah, it was a big one. Yeah, until next
Yes.
time.
Until next episode. Thanks for watching or
And
listening,
listening.
guys.
Yeah.